Hey guys, my name is Cat Kerr and I love using different things to create texture on my gel press plate, things like stencils and foam stamps and even rubber stamps. But there's one thing that I cannot live without when it comes to creating texture on my gel press plate, and that's a simple bristle brush. It has to be dry, and there is just something about the texture that it creates on a gel press plate that I can't replicate any other way. Now, one way to use it is to simply add some acrylic paint to your plate, slide that dry brush across the plate, press down your journal page or whatever substrate you're using, and then pull a print, and you're left with this yummy grunginess. Am I wrong? I mean, isn't that delicious? Now, another thing that I love about that bristle brush is that you can grungy already existing textures. For example, here I added a layer of black acrylic paint. I pressed into it one of my foam stamps and then I let it dry. Then I added a second layer of acrylic paint, but this time I used that dry brush and I swiped it across the paint, and then I pulled a print. And what that does is that it grungies up that first layer. So you can really use this with anything. You can add a first layer of any kind of texture, and then that second layer you can use your brush and grungy it up, and I love that. Now, another way to use that dry bristle brush is, instead of adding the acrylic paint first and then sliding it across, you can use that brush and paint it directly onto your plate and then pull a print. Now, there are no rules here, so you can keep adding different colors of acrylic paint on your plate, or you can add it directly to your page. Now, you remember what I said about rules, right? We don't have any when it comes to monoprinting, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. Now, I'm taking this brush and not using it in the traditional sense. This time I'm going to press it directly onto my plate and create a new type of print. So now that I've had a whole bunch of fun using my bristle brush to create texture, I'm going to pick out some of these pages and finish them off. Now, this page was already deliciously grungy, but it just needed a little pop of color, and I didn't want to cover up any of that grunginess, and so I just added a little bit of acrylic paint and created a nice wash with some water just to add a little pop of color. Now, for this next page, I wanted to add a little bit of gold, and so I just added some to the plate, pressed my butterfly rubber stamp into the gold, and then I pulled a print. And when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, you can't really see it. However, when you move the page, you can see the subtle hints of gold as well as the butterfly, and I really loved it. Now, for this page, I'm using something that I don't normally use, and that's embossing folders. And I just added some acrylic paint, pressed the embossing folder, and then pulled a print on top of that existing grungy one. And I actually really love the way it came out. Now, to finish these pages, I added some splatters of white acrylic paint, and then I cut out some images from some magazines and adhered them using a glue stick onto my journal pages. I added a title, did some mark making, and these pages are done. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and remember, when it comes to monoprinting and texture, there are no rules, so have fun. Thanks for watching.